very big sell-off into Nvidia earnings tonight. Is this a sign, or is this a sign of some dark things coming, guys? We're talking Nvidia. It's all about Nvidia. It's important levels we need to track right now on these altcoins, right now on BTC, and then I'm going to give you some higher time frame things in case the wheels fall off. So let's go. And if you are enjoying the heat of the market, I went full red here. Let's hit the like, the bell, and the subscribe anyway, because sometimes these red candles actually give us pain, but they also give us tons of opportunity. So let's be smart. There's a couple of alts in some good zones. We're going to cover all of these things. Do not panic. And we'll make sure you guys are well taken care of. Look at Mr. Bullish over here. What shirt are you wearing today, sir? Oh,
Bullish
why
AF.
Why am I not surprised that he's wearing the Bullish shirt? Okay, well, there you go, guys. Bullish all over the place. Unless your name is STRK, which is doing quite nicely at the moment. Everything else, absolute dog shit. Zcash sitting at resistance. Maybe there's going to be some kind of break there. And PMG George says, panic buy, panic buy. Guys, look. Long and the short of it is, okay, we got altcoins lower time frame moving into zones. Aster is one of them, a little bit suspicious. Uni's just hit a zone, BTC just hit a 786, but overall it's been super messy. So there's a possibility of a little reaction now, or whatever. We'll deal with it. Just don't go massive size. We got big earnings coming here today. Okay, I see the boys and girls are liking James's shirt here at the moment. Okay, let's look at the absolute destruction. Well, let's start with me getting absolutely fucking rinsed now. It's amazing how 24 hours can change things here. This ETH position was absolutely God mode yesterday, and look at that. I've got my cap in hand wanting to cry. The only thing delivering for me at the moment is the Zcash, which also chopped me around quite a lot yesterday before it started getting going. Okay, so in terms of BTC, well, there you go. GFlex says we're going down. Well, I mean, it feels like it at the moment, but remember, this is a de-risking event. People are absolutely shitting themselves into Nvidia earnings. We know Barry is so short at the moment, and he's calling reports on all these tech companies and all sorts of things. And yeah, there's speculation about a tech bubble. So we're going to talk about all of this. Now, in terms of BTC here on the 1 hour, what is going on? Well, everybody just got absolutely rinsed. You can see there was a little breakout there. What did they hit? They hit the VWAP again, same VWAP from the highs from, when was this? On Monday, and a nice little rejection, well, quite a big one if you're trading in a little bit of leveraginos. And right now, 90K. This was a big level for me yesterday. There it is. And now we are back at it again. The question is, are they going to give us a little bounce? Now, in terms of the oscillator, not looking incredible for me at the moment. It looks like this thing could come a little bit lower down, and with that, possibly a little bit more pain. So those of you who are trading or looking for a bounce in BTC, this is an interesting zone, but the oscillator isn't tying in just yet. So I'm a little bit suspicious, and I don't want to close that short just yet. Okay, taking a few blows on a couple of longs now in this chop. And in terms of where we are in BTC, you want to just be a little bit careful with that short that I've got running. It's a nice hedge at the moment. So what is the current lower level play? Well, this is your first obvious port of call. Okay, and if this happens now in the next in the next couple of hours leading into Nvidia, maybe we get something like this. Look for a sweep of these lows and a fake out. Okay, so there's a possible trade here, a fresh trade coming if we get the second dip, and that should give us time on the oscillator just to print that low. We just want to see this oscillator drop and maybe sweep these lows from that sell-off we had the other day. Remember, we hit 89K the other day, which was a little bit higher than that 88,800 that I wanted to see. Now, I know we're talking minuscule amounts, but it could play a part here for us. So if you want to do something a little bit degen, look for that sweep of the lows over there, and then a possible bounce in that area. You'll get away with about a 0.7 or maybe a 1% stop, give or take, and that could be the little wick or the little move that gives you a beautiful pump later on. Yes, CH monthly membership special. It's $99, bro, for the rest of the month. The price is obviously going up coming from December, but obviously anybody who is in Chart Hackers before the price goes up will never pay more. Okay, so come in now, get a feel for everything, do what you need to do, come check it out, get the vibe. Okay, you'll understand why it is such value in the Chart Hackers Discord. Okay, so come in. If you are in now, you're never going to go up above that 99. Okay, Panda, why are you trying to end us, bro? 87.5. What is this dog shit? what is this dog shit panda's throwing at us? Okay, so guys, there we go. There's a little sneaky degen play on BTC. That might be the dump and the pump into Nvidia earnings for us later. Remember, what we want to see typically is this oscillator reset nicely for us. Now, in terms of upside levels, I know it's almost foreign trying to talk about hitting some upside zones, but in terms of yesterday, I suppose it was fair. You know, BTC hit our rejection zone, 93,400. That was the first target, and obviously the greed or the greedy monsters in us wanted to see 94.7, 96 into this Nvidia move. Unfortunately, they sent us down a little bit early. Okay, and right now that is going to be your main resistance, 93,400. That is obviously a big zone for us to pay attention to. Okay, and Panda wants to buy the dip because this time is different, guys. It's different every time, isn't it? It's always different. Okay, so there's the zone, there's the chop zone for the degens. Now, a higher time frame, I'm going to show you a couple of things what I'm prepping, for example, on ETH. There's some higher time frame levels in case we get a capitulation. I've got a limit order set on ETH. I want to show you guys as well, and you're going to be nicely covered. I see Dale Lane is in a gold short. Okay, well, that is a good start. At least the chart hackers are getting looked after when crypto is absolute dog shit. At least some old dino coins can help us a little bit. Okay, liquidations. Let's talk. This time is for the tip. Okay, let's talk lickies, and it's only 313 million. I think this data is probably a little bit behind because we've just had a terrible candle. I can assure you there were breakout traders here buying that breakout through the VWAP, and they've all been absolutely decimated. So I think this will come up by the end of today, at least 500,000 or 500 million by the end of the day. Okay, so we'll take a look there. And then this is obviously, you know, this is an important one. Remember the feeling. We can be 70% down, but if we get a 5% pump, guys, we are good. Okay, just remember what these guys are saying. Let's just get this up here.
You ripped it! You ripped the money! We're not rich! We're broke! You gotta fake it to make it! We're broke!
You're gonna fake it to make it! Okay, so that's what's going on. But guys, I'm just loving this Q4 bull run. It's just making me feel very aggressive at the moment. It's making me feel so good, so bullish at the moment. But remember, all good things eventually do go up. Okay, even if you're getting to my age, eventually they do start going up at some point. So just hang in there. And I just wanted to show you guys, I actually didn't show you the banter and the hackers get together that we did in Amsterdam. It was such an amazing event, getting the chart hackers community together, and it was so good to see everybody. And there was a little picture on my X account, so you can follow me on X at the Lord of Entry, and you can see we had a nice little get together with some of our community members. You can see there's DJ Dave, there's Chaos over there, and some of the other team was there. James was missing. Look, you can see there's Jay over there. He's already thinking gold shorts there in the back. And look at this tall bastard there at the back there. That is the Nagel, who's sitting in. He's with us on our team there in Chart Hackers. Okay, so wait, and there's Panda. You guys see Panda commenting in the chats? There is Panda over there. That sneaky man there at the back. Okay, that is Panda there at the back for you guys. Okay, now let's get into the important shit, because this is what it's about. Okay, it's basically Nvidia time, and Nvidia holding everybody to ransom here at the moment. Now, what are we expecting here? Estimated revenue, 55 billion, estimated earnings per share 1.25. Best they absolutely excel and start blowing through these numbers, or we are going to zero. Okay, it's as simple as that. We need to get this Nvidia bounce, and Nvidia, Microsoft, and Anthropic announced a new strategic partnership. That could be bullish, you know, maybe leading into a little bit of action later on today. Now, traditionally, what I love to see is a dump into an event. Now, unfortunately, tonight's event is Nvidia earnings, but we can see crypto selling off drastically at the moment. It might be a bullish opportunity for us. So just remember that it could be an opportunity for us. It would be too easy if everything just went green every single day. Now, there's lots of speculation about AI bubbles and things like that. And Cheddar Flow just dropped this here. If you guys want to take a read, it's on X, obviously, putting the AI bubble into perspective. And they're basically saying it's not so bad. Okay, if you look at the red line, okay, and you look at the blue line, I suppose they've twisted it nicely. That, I mean, James, should we be panicking? Are we in a bubble?
Is everyone not panicking already?
So that means we're still bullish, or what?
Yeah, I guess, because everybody's fully panicked here. Look at the charts. Time to long.
Oh my God, it's messy, guys. It's messy. Let's look at Nvidia. Okay, so the Nvidia dropped into the zone yesterday for the bounce, and it's my only green trade at the moment on BTCC. The rest are all rinsing me, and it's really directly linked to this week crypto market. Now, we needed a nice bounce yesterday, which we got. MicroStrategy looked good, Coin looked good, Circle looked good, but now everything is shitting the bed again. So obviously we are feeling pressure in some of those trades. So I'm hanging on for dear life. Okay, but my only green one at the moment is that Nvidia that we longed off the lows there. So I'm expecting maybe some kind of bounce here. You can see the S&P was smart. They sold off into Nvidia early yesterday, and now possibly some kind of bounce play coming, guys. 194 looks like quite a reasonable exit zone if you're scalping this guy, because that might obviously be our lower high, maybe something like that tomorrow if they decide to gap things up or whatever the story is. Okay, but we locked in to some kind of bounce. What happened to peak euphoria? What's the opposite of peak euphoria? What is the
extreme
opposite?
fear?
Extreme fear. Okay, I was thinking of a more chart hackers type of phrase for that. I'm sure we'll figure one out.
Something a bit more filthy, maybe?
Fresh undies. Okay, the SP 500 is on track for its worst November since 2008. Guys, 17 years later, who would have thought this was going to be happening? Is this time different? And Jason says only Jeff can save us. Look, I had a chat with Jeff. I said, no KFC. You coming on Friday? Okay, so we're bringing in Jeff on Friday. We're gonna do some. We're gonna do some things with Jeffrey. Okay, so worst November since 2008. We've got a couple of days left, so let's not say we can still bounce. And then some of the obviously the problem now yesterday is this Japanese situation that's really like a bad rash, one of those rashes you get when you go to Vegas, and it's just not going away at the moment. James knows all about those. Look at that, he's like,
yeah, this is not good. This is getting uglier by the second, and it's every level of bonds too.
So this is what's going on. If you guys want to do some reading, again, I'm not going to read this whole thing to you, but essentially what's going on is that it costs more money to borrow money in Japan, okay? And it used to be free. So these guys used to borrow money for 0%, go overseas and buy bonds and stocks and whatever they did, and then they get a 0 interest rate. Now they have to pay back their loans. So what does that mean? It means I have to sell my stuff in the US and whatever, and we're talking $20 trillion. Okay,
yeah.
It's a little bite-sized amount. Okay, so 20 trillion, and if they have to start unwinding that to go and pay their interest and their debts at home, naturally there's going to be pressure in the market, even if something is bullish or not. If these guys are exiting $1 or $2 trillion, it's good night. Okay, so it's as simple as that, and that is why people are panicking at the moment. Now,
and this is what caused the August 2024 dump. Right.
Please don't say that. I get shivers. I get shivers.
Right. I think this one may be more gradual. It's not going to be that instant whatever, but it's the same issue, just rearing its ugly head again. So.
Okay, well, guys, if you have an issue, grab a tissue, because here's the S&P, and it's dropping into our 6,540 long zone. Okay, there's the 100-day MA. I would expect if Nvidia is okay tonight, even if it's flat or maybe a slight beat and they don't love it, that the S&P might sell off a little bit more, okay, drop into that zone, and that might give us our first little bounce, and then maybe drop this thing a little bit lower. So that's kind of a game plan for me, where I see things working out at the moment on the S&P. And in terms of the oscillator, we are getting close, guys, and this thing does listen to the oscillator. At some point, it's going to reverse. Everyone's going to turn bullish again. Think Santa rally. Think early December, so that they can come and rinse us again in January when we get back from vacation. Okay, so that is the current plan there. A couple of days there on the S&P. Now let's talk MicroStrategy. Absolutely sending me to 0 at the moment. Okay, remember the plan here is we can hold this guy down to about 170s, 174, that type of region. Don't really want to go much lower than that. You can see this is quite a big level for me, and obviously if Bitcoin is going to bounce off a nice area, MicroStrategy and co should follow. If Bitcoin's going to go to 0, guys, well, yeah, we'll go back to Macca's, okay, we'll reload and we'll give it a go again. Okay, but again, these crypto stocks, they're looking nice and weak, but again, tied into a weak crypto market. If the market pumps, guys, this could be the place to be on a lot of these stocks. Okay, so keep your eyes on them, keep them on your watch list. And Santa's sack is empty. Which one, bro? Okay, ETFs have been net sellers of Bitcoin. They are not absorbing supply. Okay, that is not good. Treasury companies have basically stopped buying. That is not good. Strategy's 8K Bitcoin buy is small compared to previous ones. Fair comment, okay, because maybe he's getting squeaky bum time here. at the moment. Doesn't like it. His average entry is what, 75k, give or take. And I can't imagine what's going to happen at 75k. There's going to be some spicy shit going down. And look, and also 75k BTC, you're probably going to be buying ETH at like 1.5 or something. Okay, so we'll talk about it when we need to. On top of that, LTH have moved 800,000 BTC in the last 30 days. Okay, so guys, there you go. There's your filthy news or bearish news for the day. And let's see what else. Let's really ruin everyone's day here at the moment. The Bitcoin mempool is effectively at 0. That doesn't sound good, James. James, what do you know about mempools here? I thought it was a meme coin. This has always signaled a multi-month major 50% decline in price. Okay, so 2018, it dropped, it cut it 50% in half. 2019 went to 5,400. 2021, 16,200. Remember that. And at 16,200, what did we say? I ain't buying that shit. And then it bounced. And then it bounced really, really nicely after that. Okay. So,
every time.
Guys, yeah, it's not looking good. Guys, it's not looking good. Okay, that's all I want to say from the big, what do we call these stats, the on-chain things? Okay, so in terms of where do we get rinsed next? Okay, let's keep it simple and let's follow these big zones. Now, 88,800 was a level that I've been talking about for a while. That is the top. That is the main pivot region over here. Let me just show you what that is. You can see there's some highs over there. So naturally, it makes sense that if there's a sell-off and you move into one of these big 3-day candles, you get a bounce. And that's typically what we saw 2 days ago. Okay, we had a nice bounce off that level, and possibly it could have gone higher, but I think the Japan carry trade and Nvidia de-risking have kind of ruined that moment for us. Okay, now G-Flex, back to my mom's basement. Bro, at least you're going back. I'm still in my mom's basement. Okay, this is just how it works. Went to visit Granny, found her hiding in the wardrobe. Why? Is she hiding her rings there, bro? And McDonald's rejected your app. Yeah, guys, look, we've got each other at least. I mean, just think about this. Like, if it all falls over, at least we can talk shit about 𝗲𝗏𝗏 and just have a laugh. We'll have James here as well, okay? And we'll be fine, okay? Everything.
As long as we can have a laugh about it. That's all that matters.
Everything is going to be okay. That's all I can say, guys. I've been in this market for long enough, okay? We've seen this bullshit all the time. Okay, just be ready, have your ammo ready on the big zones, and you operate in those big areas, and we're going to make it work. So just chill. Okay, now BTC 88.8 into 85.5. These are my nice high conviction long zones. In a perfect world, I wanted to see ETH at 2,750 at the same time we see BTC in this 85k region. If we get that, that might be the local bottom there for us and give us a sustained move on some of these altcoins and maybe a beautiful relief rally for the beginning of Christmas before they come and rinse us again after that. Okay, so that is kind of what I'm looking for. And then naturally, if things get ugly tonight, now we can't say, like, we cannot assume that Nvidia results are going to be good and the market's going to be happy. If the results are not good and the market doesn't like it and things start falling over a little bit more drastically, guys, be ready, because this is not a joke. Okay, this is not a joke here. 77 into 75k, that looks like a problem zone for me. So I'm actually going to highlight this for you guys here. If you want to do degen things, okay, there's a nice trade here on BTC, about 4% risk, then a little bit lower down. If they shit the bed, you've got about another 4% play there on BTC. One of these moves should take you into, okay, these big zones. Number one, Happiness's 50-week MA is 20% move, and then we've got our 50-day MA 27% move there to the upside. One of these zones should take you into that area. Make sure you have dry powder. If you're playing these areas, remember, you don't have to be a hero and go massive size. You can always grow it back when there is momentum coming into the market. So just be very, very careful with how you guys are operating things. Okay, now what is coming next? So I got to talk about Black Friday things for you guys. It's very important because now is an opportunity to take advantage when the market is so shit. At least we're going to have a couple of deals for you. So I'm going to cover, just give me 2 minutes here. I'm covering Black Friday stuff for you, very important stuff. And then we're moving on to altcoins. I've got a 𝗃𝗃𝗃 possible short again, moving into a big level. I'm talking ETH, Sol, Zcash, NEAR. I've got Pump, I've got Hype. And I've got aero updates and a couple of other things. Okay, so there's a lot coming here for you guys. And Dale Lane's going back to the traffic lights here. I see. Okay, so first things first. Yesterday, you guys were asking about my indicators. Okay, here it is, guys. This is like literally This is insane. Okay, $279 for a year of the Chart Hackers Essentials Indicator Pack. Okay, go to the Accelerator School link and do yourself a favor. You know, if you've been sitting on the fence about learning a little bit of TA and how I do these things, go here, go to the link in the show description, sign up here. This is literally one decent when entry trade that I give out every single day in the Discord. Some of them they don't hit, but if you hit one of these when entries, that's going to pay for this. It's a 1 year for these indicators. I'm talking the oscillators and all the stuff you see that I'm using in the show. And on top of that, you'll get access to the Accelerator School. Guys, so do yourself a favor. If you've been rinsed in this market and you're feeling like you want to sharpen up your trading skills, do the Accelerator course. Grab the indicators if it makes sense to you. You see me using them every single day on the show. Come into the Chart Hackers Discord. Myself and the team are going to look after you. You're going to learn some things. If you've never shorted before, come to the Chart Hackers Discord. You're going to learn some crazy shit from myself and the team in there. Okay, now is your chance. If you're getting rinsed, okay, now is your opportunity. So there's the Chart Hackers Essential. Go do the Accelerator course. It's a very easy, short video situation for you guys, for those of you with low attention span. Okay, and then there's a yearly Chart Hackers Discord deal for you guys. Okay, there it is, $9.99 for a year. Okay, come into the Chart Hackers Discord. You'll learn some things. We'll teach you the dark arts. And obviously, guys, if you are in now in November, you will never pay the $149, okay, the monthly, guys. Okay, it's $99 here if you're in November. Okay, so hang in there. And then last one, Bitfunded, guys. Don't forget, this stuff is valid forever. Okay, so I mean, the special is valid for 5 days. But if you go and buy a bundle of these things and you want to only use it in a year's time, it's still valid. Okay, it's not like it loses its validity here for you guys. So you're going to buy 3 and you get 3 free, plus you get 100% profit split. They literally are saying whatever you make, you take 100% of the profits. Normally it's 80-20. Okay, so here's a deal for you guys. If you buy like a big bundle, like 10 or 20 of these things, and you want to plan it over a year, you can use them over 12 months. They're not going to expire. Okay, now remember, everything that I talk about here, guys, it's in the show description for you. Go into the show here, click on, go under more. Oh, there's Mr. Nickies. Hello. Click under more on the show, and you're going to find all the links here for you guys. Okay, thank you, Rich Baldwin. I do a lot of work on this beard. Okay, now, Black Friday is done. Everybody get their shitcoin traders ready. And oh yes, we might get this entry. We might actually get this entry on BTC, guys. Okay, focus. Okay, let's go. Let's talk Bitcoin dominance. I think naturally pumping with the current situation. Okay, so this thing is now front running that big danger zone there for me. I did want to see it lower, but let's see where this thing goes. In terms of these altcoins, it actually is a little bit bearish, this dominance. Look at that. If we pump into that zone, we can expect some kind of beautiful altcoin move at some point. Okay, so he wants Licky's undies with an ice pouch. Where, in the front or the back, bro? Where are you putting those things, bro? This is what's going on here. Okay, so there's your Bitcoin dominance, guys. It's still looking a little bit bearish. Obviously, it means bullish. Bearish. It means some short-term pain for us, though, potentially, and it's not helping that USDT dominance is ripping through 6% now as we speak. This was a big area for us. We fought this zone for a couple of days valiantly, and now we are blowing through. So the next major area for me, if we get a market capitulation, 6.6, picture this. ETH 2728, somewhere there. Sol 65, no, just kidding. Sol like 112, maybe 98, give or take, somewhere in that area. Let's pay attention to this thing. 6.6%, guys. This is going to be a big one. If we carry on selling later into this Nvidia situation, I think we're going to get some kind of bounce here out of the market. Now, in terms of the shitcoin casino, this 𝗫𝗏𝗄 has come out of nowhere. I mean, look at this thing. It's like an absolute rocket ship here. What's going on? Look at this thing. It's taken off from like the depths of zeroness. I mean, you can't get any more zero than this thing, and it's absolutely exploded here into the upside. So shitcoin casino, I've got 2 big levels here for you guys. Possible short opportunity a little bit higher up than where we tried it earlier today. So we've got 98. That's a beautiful zone. That is the 100-day MA, 0.5 fib, bearish order block, beautiful horizontal. So 98, give yourself tons of breathing room. If there's a second big spike, this 200-day MA is going to be the one that ends this 𝗫𝗏𝗄. Okay, so if you want to do something sneaky, isolated position, limit order just under that 200-day MA, and at 114 somewhere there, and leave it up to the crypto gods. Okay, 𝗬𝗵𝗿, I'm joking, bro. I'm joking. It won't be like tomorrow. We'll have 65 SOL in January after they come and rinse us. Okay, so just hang in there. Just get your buy orders ready. Okay, yes, of course, PMG George. Okay, so 114 and 98. These are big rejection zones. One of these zones should give you a 20 to 30% dump on this particular shitcoin. Okay, there is some kind of news around it, but again, the news can only take you so far. Now, let's talk ETH. Big things. When market is shitting the bed, what do? James, I literally think I'm getting fucking liquidated here while ETH is falling over. I mean, like, this is actually bad. Okay, what do we do here? 2750. Okay, this is the big level for me. If we go now and we hit that zone, that is a buy zone. So you can play 2750 into about 26 even. Give it some breathing room. This guy over here, this is suited for 5%, 6% stop loss zones, that type of thing. So don't go in 50x leverage. Okay, don't do that. You want to be able to ladder in, build a bit of a position. That is where I'm expecting some kind of local move there out of ETH. Obviously, if things get ugly, 2,150 is coming next. Rudy, if you're shouting tower at me, it means I'm getting liquidated. It just feels like I'm getting liquidated here. We need Jeff on days like this. I think so. We need Jeff every single day. Okay, so guys, there's the ETH play going to zero as we speak. What I've done here, Gravity, guys, you know about this Gravity exchange. It's a DEX, and those of you that are doing some farming and stuff like that, well, I've got a bit of a strategy that you can employ on this thing, because the order book's quite thin here in terms of the spread. So what you want to do is set limit orders, and because if you come here and you market order, buy, sell, whatever, it just starts grabbing stuff up and down. So if you get a sneaky limit order, and let's say ETH goes down to like 2.8, but some dude hits like market buy or some shit, or something, or market sell, you're gonna pick this up at a nice discount. Okay, so I've got an order here on Gravity for 2,750, a limit order waiting for a little bit of an ETH buy here. Maybe we can get a spike. That is exactly off this fib that you can see here on ETH. So that's 2,750. That is my macro 618 fib. I'm expecting some kind of action on that zone there for us. Okay, so pay attention there. And guys, remember, if you're enjoying the content, hit the like, hit the bell, and hit the subscribe. And I do this every single day on this channel. Okay. Let's go Sol. Okay, let's see where we are. So Sol 129 was our 786 fib. This is our big area. We are now dropping into a zone. Question one is, if we're going to hold into Nvidia, I'm expecting these lows to be tested again and some kind of bounce. So 129, that looks okay to me. If they are going to bleed us a little bit lower, guys, get your undies ready. We are looking at 112. That area is looking interesting there for me on Solana. And then obviously if it gets really, really dark out there, guys, be ready. It might make sense having a little stink bid lower down, 95. There's a nice wick there that you guys can play with on Sol. Okay, so look out for that one. And John, yeah, we're okay, bro. We're okay. Now, in terms of Sol, now here's a little bit of hopium, and this is what you guys can obviously watch. We can see this oscillator is starting to reset at the lows. Look at that. And the last time the oscillator reset at the lows in a similar fashion, we did get a little bouncy on Solana. So in terms of the 1 hour, we are getting a little bit tired of selling. Okay, so I am expecting some kind of bounce or some kind of reaction on Sol, but obviously the selling at the moment is a little bit relentless, and we just got to play this thing super carefully here as to how you want to do it. So typical things you want to watch, you just want to track these fibs. You want to see the reactions on these fibs, but remember, the big one is going to be a sweep of these lows here at 129. So you're looking for something along these lines, just like Bitcoin. If they drop the low, look for that sweep and pump back to the upside. Okay, so there could be something here for you guys if we get a little capitulation. And if this capitulation happens in the next 2 hours, I would say, that for me looks like an interesting play. So about a 2% stop there on Sol, and then a nice bounce. Hopefully, when Nvidia comes out, riding into the sunset, maybe we get a little 11% there out of Sol. Okay, so let's be patient. Let's see how that's going to play out. Now, in terms of Zcash, interesting one. And James and I were debating this one yesterday, talking about exiting that trade. And eventually we did exit that trade. And fortunately, it's working out. This was a bearish retest. Look at that VWAP there, offering resistance once again. And you got your bear zone. Remember the bull zone and the bear zone. The bear zone is up to that 0.5 fib over there. And look at that playing its role at the moment on Zcash. So anything interesting here, if you guys are looking for some kind of scalp or something like that on Zcash, the safest play that I can give you at the moment for anybody looking for a pop later on, okay, is going to be a reclaim of that VWAP and then a move. So you only want to get involved over 643. That is kind of where I can see that happening there on Zcash. You start digging around 643, 644. Alternatively, you just want to wait for Zcash to drop into one of these zones down here, 546, and then I've got a little banger over here, 490 into 400 and what is this one? 490 into 470, guys. 490 into 470 on Zcash. Looks like you can have a little bit of fun there. Look at that VWAP confluence with fibs in the zone. Look at the horizontals, looking quite nice there for me. Okay, so just play safe, obviously, with your size and things like that. Now, I've got a few more things coming here for you guys. Let me give you the list here as to what's happening. We've got 𝗫. Obviously, everybody loves 𝗫 again now that it's privacy. They pivoted from AI to privacy or whatever the story is. I've got pump, hype. We're looking at virtual. I've got useless and XPX. Okay, there might be something coming here for you guys. Could be something super interesting. I've got Asta. I've got Aero, I've got Uni. Hopefully we're not getting rinsed on Uni. And I've got 𝗬𝗯𝗏 here. And if we got time, I've got ZK as well for you guys. Okay, so hang in there. We got some action coming here. Let's go 𝗫. 500,000 unique users on 𝗫 intense in the last 30 days. So this is obviously everybody who wants privacy now. Is that correct?
Yeah, that's not going anywhere. Yeah,
yes.
And it's just increasing. I saw this whole thing where the U.S. is trying to bring in legislation to tax foreign crypto holdings and stop U.S. Holders from holding in other countries and everything. That the privacy thing just keeps increasing and increasing. It's going to keep increasing.
Well,
that narrative will never go anywhere.
Well, this 𝗫 chart is the most crypto chart you can ever get. And this actually just explains to everybody like exactly what we deal with here. Okay, this is the perfect explanation. Everybody gets so bearish. Okay, when the market does this, drops into there, everybody is so bearish. It's all over. We're dying. Da 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 da. Look what happens here when we drop into these types of zones. Now, obviously, this time could be different and things like that. But just remember how you felt in all of these examples over here that you see on this chart. Where were you in April getting rinsed? Where were you in June getting rinsed here into the lows? And look at the run that they give you. Remember, after lots of pain comes lots of upside. Okay, just remember how these markets move here and things like that. So 𝗫, guys, if you're looking for some action, okay, if you're looking for absolute degen shit, like proper degen stuff, 2.2, you can have a crack here. This is the last line of reasonable support for this zone. Okay, 2.2. Then if we start shitting the bed, okay, and we're talking ETH dropping big levels here, I'm talking ETH going to 2,750. You're looking at 𝗫 at 2, and you're looking at 𝗫 at 1.9 to 1.8 as your next big region. Okay, so absolute degen play, 2.2 if you want to do dumb shit. Then you've got 2, and you've got 1.9 to 1.8 on 𝗫, making sense to me for a possible bounce. Okay, let's talk pump and look at pump. Just a beautiful letdown. Okay, a beautiful letdown here for pump. What was our big plan yesterday? We were looking quite bullish in that market, and we identified this inverse or this regular head and shoulders over there. And what we wanted to see was 𝗫 pump back into that inverse, pump back into the head and shoulders, tap the VWAP as well, and tap that 382, and then give us a beautiful rejection. Okay, so right now, 356 is your main danger zone. Not looking like we're going to get anywhere close to that at the moment. So right now, all we want to do is look for the similar play that we're looking at on BTC. Now, remember the two levels for pump on the higher time frame charts were 27, okay, 27 over there, and then it was 23 was my next big level on the higher time frame chart. So these are high impact zones where I expect a strong bounce if we hit those areas, 27 and 23. So how could this first trade possibly play out? It could be something like this: a sweep below the lows into 27 and then a strong bounce. Remember, Pump ran my big zone, my 27 zone, by a few cents there the other day. Maybe this is going to be our opportunity. So if you want to do something a little bit degen here, look for a sweep of those lows, and you're looking for that thing to then bounce and get bought up relatively quickly. You can see our 1 hour is turning over. It's going to print bullish divergence, or it's going to bottom out pretty soon, and then we should get some kind of reversal on pump. Okay, so something to look forward to there if we get a little meltdown. And it would also make sense filling some of this wick here, just dealing with this thing and then pushing it a little bit higher up. Okay, let's talk hype as well. Hype is in a bounce zone, and you can see I wrote nice zone here. Okay, why is it a nice zone? 786 order block, horizontals, looking good to me. So from that perspective, under regular conditions, this is where you typically look for some kind of bounce or some kind of reaction. And you can see what hype is doing here. It's reacting in that zone for us as we speak. Okay, now again, we can't guarantee that it's going to rocket off from here, but in terms of a zone where you push buttons, and in terms of a zone where you can make rational decisions, 37.2, you can see it's now in that area. It looks like a reasonable zone for me for some kind of bounce. Let's look at our oscillator here. Dropping, okay, absolutely shitting the bed here at the moment, and that is bottoming out relatively soon. And there's two options for me. If this thing is going to bottom out relatively soon, we're looking at this current zone 37 here, or alternatively a wick fill over there for hype. Okay, one of these two should give you the reaction that you need. So what I suggest is, if you want to play these zones, nibble around in some of these areas. If they get momentum and it starts moving, add to the trade, grow the trade. If it starts dropping, well, you've just nibbled around. You don't mind a little bit of pressure there, and then you're looking for 36.1 for the next bounce. Okay, so 36.1. These are my two big zones here on hype for today, and this is all obviously subject to Nvidia not coming out and with some disgusting information or something like that, and then the market absolutely shitting itself. Okay, and Syed says, any update on 𝗬𝗰𝗿? That was a trade from James. 𝗬𝗰𝗿 was yesterday.
From Jay, yeah.
Took the stop out of 𝗬𝗰𝗿. Will hype break the trend, says Giovanni. Well, I mean, look, you can see right now what's going on here. Bearish retest possibly. Yeah. Okay, look at that. So if it does push up, you could look at something like that playing out. Yes, sir.
Well, I saw a question earlier just asking if there's a code for any of the, whether it's the Bitfunded or the hackers or anything. Are there any codes for that, or is it just click the link that's on the screen? Is there an actual discount code?
No, there's a code. It should be in the show description there. Can you just check? Yeah, will you just check the show description there? This is obviously yesterday's one. The code is, okay, for the yearly, it's Black Friday 2025, guys. Black Friday 2025. That is for the yearly code, okay? For the indicators, there's no code. Just sign up there. That's the deal. Okay, it's ready to go there for you guys. Okay, so guys, hype you've got covered. Yeah, virtual. Same as hype, guys. Like big rejection, lost trend. You know, what's the next play here? In fact, maybe we need to look at a higher time frame virtual here quickly. Let's just see. Let's see what we can get here out of virtual on a much higher time frame. And just see where we are. I just want to check. I just want to see exactly where this thing is here. Okay, so higher time frame virtual. Let's go daily. Let's just see what is going on here at the moment. Okay, yes, we're still in our zone here. You can see just off the bat here in terms of horizontals and stuff like that. You can see this is a workable zone for us for virtual. You can see that area does make a little bit of sense. And then in terms of fibbage, there's a fib just a little bit higher than that horizontal, I believe. Yeah, there it is. Okay, so we're sitting on that 0.5 as well. So this region should offer something if we get a reasonable sell-off. If the sell-off now they start putting the brakes on, guys, you should get something here at around about 106 into about 1 on virtual. Okay, if not, there's a nice zone. This is like a really, really pretty zone here. And for me, I would expect this to bounce at 87.7. Okay, might be worth having an alarm on, might be worth a stink bid. 877 on virtual looks pretty decent there to me. Now, let's get into some absolute shit coins. Here's this thing, Useless. Now, we haven't covered this one much, but I was fascinated that it's the second most traded meme coin on Coinbase after Doge. How is this even possible that these guys are trading this absolute dog shit? When I saw this, I was like, fuck, this thing must be pumping. It must be so amazing. Guess what? absolute dog shit. Okay, and here it is. Yeah, James, how's this thing? What the fuck is this? Okay,
if that's the number 2, what's the number 20 look like?
I mean, the only trading here is fucking selling against the market makers or whatever's going on here. These guys are exiting hard. Okay, so right now, useless guys. It looks exactly like SPX. I've got 2 setups for you guys. So you want to give this one a go. Obviously, be careful with how you play this. Be careful with sizing and things like that. And what a classic play could be is a fake out below the lows and then a monster pump once they shake it all off. Okay, so useless. Possible entries here: 0.1, even a sweep into 0.9. Remember, this is a crazy volatile meme coin over here. Do not go high leverage on this thing. Small position, big move is how you're looking at these things. You might want to ladder in if you want to try that. Look for the sweep below the lows and the pump. If you start losing, say, 85, somewhere around there, then you're getting out of this thing. Okay, we're going to get sold at Black Friday prices. Jay, bro, okay, just be ready. Just be ready. Okay, now SPX looks exactly the same. Okay, coming back down, all the way down. I thoroughly enjoyed that round trip there. And now we are moving back into 4677. Looks like our next bounce zone. It's a carbon copy of this useless trade, and it's quite interesting. You know, these meme coins have sold us so hard that they fill these wicks that actually looked unfillable at some point. Okay, after that October 10th, looking at this, it was like, how is this ever going to get filled? How is this possible that they can come and fill 50 or 60% wicks? And fuck me, they have. Okay, and don't tell me 𝗬𝗃 just shat the bed. No, bro, this is not good. Okay, soul dropping into Lucifer's jockstrap. Okay, let's talk 𝗏 now. 𝗏 is it's an interesting one. There's a lot of talk around 𝗏 and some kind of event coming and whatever, and we can see the market's been pretty bad, but 𝗏 has been holding pretty strong. We know it's a very volatile token. Okay, so just remember that. But we know relative strength, 𝗏 has been outperforming a lot of things here at the moment. So there was a couple of ways I'm looking at 𝗏. This was a when entry. It's taken a couple of days to hit the in fact, we spoke about it yesterday. So it's taken the whole day to now come down and hit our box. Now we are nearly there in terms of a reversal. Look at that. We are so close to something going on here with 𝗏. So just hang in there. For me, I started a fresh isolated position in 𝗨𝗏𝗏 on this one, and I'm tracking it as follows. Okay, this is zone number 1, ideal zone. This is where you want to see the bounce. We had 50-day MA, we had 0.5 at the time. The VWAP was a bit lower as well, and we had our 382 zone. So this was an okay region here for me. The first trade idea for 2.5% risk, and right now, I mean, if you're trying it now, your risk is like less than 1% or whatever, but it's a candle close under 1.25 is what you're going to be looking at. So that is your degen trade. Okay, so that's, I mean, it's a 1% stop, guys. Just be super careful with that. It's a high choppability there. Then what am I interested in now? We can see a couple of things. This was the backup zone, the 1.9 area, and it really looked good yesterday with this VWAP floating around this zone. What I don't like for this region is this VWAP is creeping higher. And the higher the VWAP creeps up for me, increases the probability of a wick into that VWAP and a possible bounce. So now things are getting a little bit spicy. What I want you to do, look for this reversal on the 1 hour on the oscillator. We are very close here. You can see what happened the last time we had a reversal on the oscillator. It's almost around the corner. Typically, you want to pick it up on a nice reaction zone. For me, the zones are right here where we are. Then possible VWAP 1.22, and then you've got 1.19. All I want to say is, guys, don't go ape on this thing. Okay, you can see I've taken my first position here, and then I'm going to wait for this thing. If it's going to drop into this lower level here, I'm going to be ready at 1.19. Okay, we're going to have another crack there. If it happens in the next hour or two, I'm expecting a reversal, some kind of snapback here on the market. If not, it's probably 𝗏𝗍𝗃's time. Okay, so I've done it especially in an isolated position to avoid any after effects there. So we're sitting in isolated on that guy for 𝗏. Okay, so looking at that, Aero coming back into entry, guys. I don't want to write this one off as well. We are moving into our entry zone. That 8 hour is looking a little bit bearish here. Does want to drop lower down, but in terms of levels, we can't argue. Okay, we can see these zones here, big order blocks in this area, beautiful fibbage, beautiful wick fill. So for me, Aero, all is not lost here. 76 type region looks interesting, and you can push this thing all the way down to about 70 potentially. If you start closing under there, guys, possibly market is going to get pretty messy out there. Okay, so just remember, just be super careful how you want to play this. Remember, all these charts go into the Chart Hackers Discord for you straight after the show. Okay, they'll be ready there for you guys. And Rudy, are we getting rinsed into 𝗬𝗰𝗍𝗶 here, bro? Oh no, it's not so bad. Why is everyone panicking? We're still in our zone. Okay, no, fuck, guys. The way you're going on in the chats here, I'm like, fuck, this thing must be at like 220. James, so we're going to talk to these DJs, bro. I mean,
everybody must be on too high leverage or something, because yeah, it's still at the zone really.
We're still in the zone. The zone from yesterday was anything down to 290. Okay, we've got our order block here, things like that. Obviously, guys, it can go lower. Just be aware. Like, here's your next zone, 250, 255 on Tower is the next level. But I do like the bullish divergence print on the 12-hour. That's a nice start. Okay, remember, Tower might make a recovery here for an AI factor on Nvidia good results or something like that. Also, we have a Tower halving coming early December, and that might obviously ignite the market a little bit. So right now, levels are 308 to 290. Makes sense there to me. And then your next backup zone, guys, 250, 255, give or take. Okay, it's not going to be fun. I mean,
no. If Tow's at 250, the rest of the market's going to be really
it's wrecked. It's wrecked. We're going to have to put lipstick on a pig there, but you know what? Like, we'll be back. Okay, so Tower halving. But guys, like, remember how it works. Okay, everybody here watching the show now on a red day when you're getting fucked out there and it's getting messy, you've got an edge over everyone who's going to come back when the market starts pumping for 3 days. Okay, if the market starts pumping for 3 days, we're going to be selling those tops. Okay, we're going to be looking for head shorts. We're going to get fresh guys coming in saying when breakout, when fucking all this shit. Okay, so just remember that you are doing the work now, and everyone's going to come back when it's nice and green, and you're going to be selling into them. Okay, so just remember that. Do the work on the red days, feel the pain, and that allows you to have more fun on the green days. Okay, now ZK was one of the better performers today. Look what it's rejected off: 100-day MA, 200-day MA. And again, the question is this trade still going to survive? You know, like, we've got a divergence print on the 8-hour. Guys, all I can suggest is treat these lows as your main support. Don't get too clever in between. You stand the risk of getting chopped up. So anybody in the ZK, I'm in ZK 44.5, okay, 444, something like that. Maybe you close under there. Then we start getting, we start dealing with things lower down. We're talking 35, those types of things. Arden, I agree. If Nvidia comes out bullish, we're cooking. Okay, we're cooking. If it comes out bearish, fuck it, guys. We're cooking as well, but at McDonald's. Okay, last one here, Brett. We're getting so much fucked so often. Does it make us... No. This is a family show. Come on. Okay, guys, Brett also making a round trip here at the moment. Again, all I can suggest is look for this little sell-off into 158 here. Possible bounce zone again here for Brett. Just play it safe. Okay, cut under 154. If you close under 154, start cutting that thing. Okay, protect yourselves. Big couple of hours coming. Mr. 𝗵𝗵𝗏, can I see that shirt one more time? Just for shits and giggles. I mean,
yeah, and don't forget FOMC minutes, 2 hours. Maybe that's going to be our reversal point whenever that comes out. I know you think it's not a big thing, but maybe that's where we finally bottom out before, and the de-risking is done, and that's the one thing they're waiting on to hear prior to Nvidia.
Fair call. Okay, watch the FOMC minutes. Like, normally it's a nothing burger for me, but I suppose tied into Nvidia could be something. Okay, so 2 hours for that. Nvidia earnings in must be 4 hours. 4 hours. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool, guys. Really, from me, good luck, everyone. From James, anything else?
Really good luck, everyone. Yeah, that's a double there, guys.
Really good luck. Okay, see you guys later.